Hi, I'm Paul, and in today's video, I'm showcasing how I turned Reddit into an AI-powered Obsidian research assistant. It doesn't just copy posts, it finds high-value insights, analyzes them, scores their relevance, and delivers comprehensive analysis reports with trending posts and community stats. This video showcases exactly how I built it with N8N using two different workflows. Join me as we dive into how the whole N8N system works. In my last video, I showed you my N8N automations for scraping YouTube and Reddit content. The response was incredible. Many of you are interested in using these workflows to discover community insights that would take hours to find manually. Today, we're diving deep into my Reddit AI analysis workflow. This system automatically monitors the past 7 days of any subreddit, delivering instant stats, trending posts, and community insights. But here's where it gets interesting. I've built two versions, a basic AI analyzer and an advanced intelligence system that creates full reports. Whether I'm tracking Obsidian discussions, monitoring tags, or researching any community topics that matter to me, these workflows can be adapted to my needs. I'm going to show you the basic version, then show you a preview of the advanced system that's coming in part 2. So this video will assume that you're comfortable with N8N, Docker, and Obsidian API setups. If you're new to these, drop questions below and I'll help you get started. But let's see both workflows in action before we break them down. So I'm going to start by giving you a quick insight into my setup. I've got a HomeLab running Proxmox, and on my Proxmox HomeLab, I have a virtual machine running Ubuntu server. Inside a Ubuntu server, I have a Docker container. One of my Docker containers is N8N, self-hosted. This gives me unlimited workflows. I control everything inside of N8N, and it's private. I then use N8N to connect to Obsidian via the local REST API plugin, and that allows me to automate note creation inside of my Obsidian Vault. I can then access my HomeLab through a Cloudflare reverse tunnel, and this just saves me from opening up ports on my router or my firewall. So I can access this from the public internet or inside of my secure network. If we have a look at my HomeLab dashboard, I've got Proxmox up the top here. And inside Proxmox, I've got Ubuntu running Docker. And one of those Docker containers is my N8N self-hosted automations. If I click on the tile, that opens up N8N. And we can see here I've got a workflow for Obsidian Reddit AI analysis scrape. So we've got the first node here, which is the daily schedule trigger. And this one is a schedule that runs at 8:35 every day. We then move over to the get Reddit posts, and this one fetches the top 50 posts from the Obsidian subreddit using the Reddit API. The next node filters the posts from the last 7 days and formats them for analysis. Then a code node combines all the filtered posts into a single text prompt for AI analysis, specifically looking for innovative workflows, useful plugins, tips, automation ideas, and learning resources. I then send it over to the basic LLM chain, and this one processes the prepared text through AI language model Google Gemini. And I use this one because it comes with a pretty generous free tier, so it doesn't cost me any money to run. Then it moves over to another code node called Generate Final Report, and this one creates a comprehensive report with analysis, statistics, top posts, and metadata. And then the last two sections send to Discord and send to Obsidian. Before they do it, I have to format the Discord message to convert the report into a Discord-friendly format with emojis and Markdown. And then I've also got one to prepare the Markdown file to convert the report into Obsidian-compatible Markdown format with proper tags and structure. And that process gets done before I send it to Obsidian and send it to Discord. Now, because Discord has chat send limits, what I tend to do is put a wait command on the end, and this acts a bit like a loop. It'll just wait and then send the next one. So that's something I sometimes add on the end. So let's run through how this works. So we can see here I've got a channel called Obsidian Reddit Scrape inside of Discord. Inside Obsidian, under Vault, N8N Scrape Reddit Obsidian, I have an empty folder with 0 files and 0 folders. I can manually trigger this by hitting Execute Workflow. So we can see that the workflow has executed successfully. If we jump into Discord first, we can see now the Obsidian Reddit Scrape channel has an Obsidian analysis report. It was posted today from the subreddit Obsidian, looking at the last 7 days using Google Gemini. I've got a summary of the top posts analyzed with a number of 30, with an average score of 15, average comment of 7. There's 3 top posts for the week. So the first one is really enjoying the baseline theme after some custom configurations. We've got 167 likes and 20 comments. So I can click that one and it'll take me straight to the Obsidian Reddit. And we can see this one is by the Lazy Administrator. And we can scroll down and have a read of that one. If we wanted to go further, we could use the Obsidian Web Clipper and use a Reddit post detector with a custom Reddit template. And I've made a video about the Web Clipper if you would like to get your hands on this. We can see the next one is what's your favorite theme for Obsidian right now? So if we click on this one, we can see there's a lot of comments about everyone's favorite theme. So Jellybomb says the minimal theme comes with its own separate plugin called Minimal Theme Settings, where you can change the color scheme and you can further customize with the Style Settings plugin. And this is the setup that I use. And I've made a video about how I've customized my Obsidian Vaults using that theme and those plugins. So go check that one out. And then finally, we've got how to achieve this layout. Made some progress, but need some help. And then if we scroll a little bit down, we also have visual representations of those 3 top posts. So if we don't want to read those 3, we can just have a look at the images here. And if something sparks some curiosity, like that last post here, then we can just have a look at it and then go click and read more about it there. So that's how it looks in the Discord channel. Let's go have a look to see how it looks in Obsidian. So I'll jump into Obsidian. You can see we've got a new automated post here called Reddit Analysis N8N Workflow. If I select that note, we can see I've got some pre-formatted YAML properties up the top with some tags, the date added, the subreddit, the model that was used, as well as a CSS class. And then further down, I've got my Reddit analysis title that was generated today, looking at the last 7 days by Google Gemini 2.0 Flash. Got some quick stats, and then this time we've got 5 top posts as opposed to 3. We've got trends and insights if they exist. There was none during this analysis period, tags and categories, and any related posts. And then just a little footer note to remind us that this was automated. So now that we've seen what the workflow does, let's go through it in more depth. So we've got our daily schedule here, which could be a manual trigger. Now this only works if you've got Obsidian and Discord open at the time that it runs. So just be mindful of that. Then we've got the first one here, which is get Reddit posts. We're saying to get many of the Obsidian MD subreddit. We're limiting the amount to 50, and we're just looking at the top posts. So if we execute this, we can see there's 29 items that have been identified as top posts. So now that we've got this data, we need to filter the last 7 days and then format them for analysis. So if we come in here, we can see that we've got a whole bunch of code here. So all I do here is I go into JSON and copy the JSON. And then I go into Claude and I say, I have this N8N data. And then I copy the data. And then what I want to do is I want to grab the headings here and say, can you create a code node to filter posts from the last 7 days and prepare for analysis? Reddit timestamps in seconds, convert to compare, extract relevant information for analysis, and create formatted text for AI analysis. Then I'm just going to hit enter. Claude's going to go draft a JSON code node for me. And then all I need to do from there is copy this and paste it back in where it says JavaScript. Now I'm not going to do it in this instance because what you post here affects the next step and the next step. So I'm just showing you how I do it. So then if you want to see if it works, hit execute step, and we can see that it's gone ahead and done what I've asked it to do. So then the next one is a code node as well. And this one combines all the filtered posts into a single text prompt for AI analysis, looking for workflows, useful plugins, tips, and learning resources. So if I double click that one, we can have a look at this one as well. So once again, I would just go up to JSON, copy, go back to Claude. I have this data. I want to prepare posts for Google Gemini analysis, combine all the posts into a single text for analysis, prepare the request for Google Gemini, and that's it. And then I execute that step. We can see that that's working. So now I move on to my basic LLM chain, and this one just processes the prepared text through an AI language model. I'm using Google Gemini because of the free tier. And you can set this up by going to Google AI Studio and selecting Get API Key, and it's free to use. There are some usage limits, so as long as you don't run it like over and over and over and over, then you'll be fine. So if we have a look in the basic LLM chain, I've got define below and a user message. And if we have a look at that, we've got JSON, Gemini request contents, and Gemini request generation config. If we execute that, we can see our node executed successfully. We're getting an output, and then we can move on to another code node, which is our generate final report. And this one just creates a comprehensive report with analysis, statistics, top posts, and metadata. So once again, I have some data by copying. I want to create a code node to generate comprehensive final report, extract Gemini's analysis for the LLM chain response, generate summary statistics, get top posts by score, generate the final report, and that's it. And then if we execute that, we can see that one is firing off successfully. So then the final step is really just to format that data for Discord as well as for Markdown to send to Obsidian. So let's have a look at the Discord one. So this one's a code node as well. So I have this data. Can you create a N8N code node to generate Discord message from the report, truncate analysis if too long, format top posts, create the Discord message, and whatever it creates, you can come in here and customize it. So if you don't want bold for your date or you don't want an emoji, you can just go customize that. You can see here where the variables are being pulled in, but you could go style this, or if you didn't want it to be a dot point, you could take that out. If you wanted to change any of the wording around, you could do that as well. And then we've got our node executed successfully. So once we've done that, then the final step is to send it to Discord. So if we have a look here, we've got a Discord node using a bot token. I've gone and set up a bot account inside Discord. I'm telling it to send to my server, which is called Paul's Obsidian, to the channel Obsidian Reddit scrape. And then I'm just putting in the JSON.message as the message, and that's it. Now the wait is probably not required, but I just found if you're trying to send too much to Discord, it's good to have a wait after it because it will wait and then send all the rest of the information. And then if we move down to send to Obsidian, you've got to choose where you want to send it. So I've just put the location here as a reminder. And then if we come into the code node here, once again, copy into Claude. I have this N8N data, create a code node to generate Obsidian Markdown from the report, a helper function to format the date for Obsidian, helper function to sanitize the text, extract and format analysis, format top post for Obsidian with proper Markdown links, create file name and path with date, comprehensive Obsidian Markdown, and then you can see I've got my template here. So you can see I've got my YAML properties starting here. So if you want to add different YAML properties, or you wanted to capitalize analysis model just to match everything else, then you can go do it here. And then you can craft your template inside here as well. So if you didn't want bold for generated, or you didn't want this emoji, you can go in there and make some changes. If you didn't want the related posts, you could delete them. If you didn't want tag categories, so you can see here the general discussion. If you didn't want that in there, you could take that out completely. So you can really just customize this to your liking. You could even say, I have an Obsidian template and I have this data. Can you make it match my template so that you don't have to go in there and make too many changes yourself? And then finally, I've got the Obsidian API, and this one's just sending over to a reverse Cloudflare tunnel specified to the JSON.path. And because it's using the Obsidian local REST API, I've had to set up a bearer auth in order to send over the request securely. And then the body is just raw text plain with the JSON content. Now, finally, if I wanted to clear out all the messages on my Discord, then I've just got a delete all posts from Discord channel. And this one is triggered manually. This one's just using a Discord node where I've connected OAuth2 to my Discord account by the server ID, channel ID, and then I've got a delete operation for the server and the channel for the message. So all I need to do is execute that. That clears out my whole messages in my channel. So if I just want to get it for the day or for the week, I'm not really interested in archiving previous weeks, and I just want to clear it out, then I can run that workflow there. So that's how my Obsidian Reddit AI analysis scrape workflow works. So in part 2, we're going to look at the Obsidian Reddit scrape with advanced intelligence AI. So this is very similar to the first workflow, except this one filters the top posts from Obsidian MD weekly, and it looks for anything with 5 upvotes over the last 7 days. It then gets sent over to AI for analysis and enhancement using Google Gemini. And we're looking for posts with productivity potential to generate improvement suggestions. We're then going to distribute the data for Discord and create a structured markdown file for our Obsidian Vault. And we've also got an automated cleanup to remove any Discord messages in case we just want to keep the last 7 days posted on our channel. So let's just go run the workflow and then we'll go through each node individually. So I'm just going to come up and execute the workflow manually. So you can see that's been sent over to my Discord and Obsidian. So let's go have a look at Discord. So we can see we're still targeting the same channel, Obsidian Reddit Scrape, except this time we have an Obsidian intelligence report, which has found 6 high-value Obsidian insights. So the first one is really enjoying the baseline theme after some custom configurations. So this was picked up in our top 3 posts in the first workflow, except this time we have a little bit of different information. So it's telling us here a user is showcasing their custom configurations for the baseline theme in Obsidian, specifically mentioning ongoing work on CSS snippets to improve light dark text theming. So we already know what it's about without having to click view post. It's told me there's 142 upvotes and a rating of 7 out of 10. So we'll go down to number 2 here. We've got how to achieve this layout, made some progress but need some help. And this one is high productivity potential with 50 upvotes, 8 out of 10. So a user is seeking help to replicate a specific dashboard layout in Obsidian, focusing on achieving a multi-column section with a 1:3 ratio. So we can go click on that one if we want to read about it. And then if we scroll down, we've got our visual representation here again, generated by N8N Obsidian Intelligence. And this just gives us a visual representation. We've also got some more here, how to get web research into Obsidian, how to remove the floating reading view button. So if there's anything here that we find interesting, we can go read more about it. We've also got some key insight summaries here. So Obsidian themes can be highly customized using CSS snippets. Custom CSS is crucial for fine-tuning light dark mode text theming. So there's some key insights there. And then we've also got an AI enhancement suggestion down the bottom. So let's go have a look what this looks like inside of Obsidian. So we can see here that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 automated posts. So let's click on the top one. So we can see that we've got how to achieve this layout, made some progress, but an N8N workflow. We've got our YAML properties there, which is pulling in our date, week, month, quarter, year, title, upvotes, URL, productivity, potential, uniqueness, target audience, tags, and source. Got how to achieve this layout, made some progress but need some help. Got some post statistics, a summary, which is the user is seeking to help to replicate a specific dashboard layout in Obsidian, focusing on achieving a multi-column section with a 1:3 ratio. Got an assessment, key insights. So the key insights is there's a strong demand for advanced and flexible dashboard layouts in Obsidian beyond basic multi-column setups. The user wants to integrate task tracking and learning progress visualization directly into their dashboards. And then there's the source to the original post, and we can click there and we can read the original post, and we could even add that to our vault if we wanted to capture all the comments below. So let's go down to the next one, how to get web resources into Obsidian. And we can see we've got our YAML properties, and then we've got our template with all our AI information. So if we jump back into our workflow and come up to the top here, we can see we've got get the top Reddit post for Obsidian MD. So if we double click at the Reddit node, we can see that we've got our Reddit account getting many from Obsidian MD with a limit of 30. And then we've got the top post again. The next node is a code node to filter automation posts. So once again, we just come up, copy our JSON data, go over to Claude and say, I have this JSON data from N8N. I need to create a code node to convert timestamps to readable date, extract the requested data fields in specific order, sort by upvotes, descending order, and taking the top 10. So to summarize this code, it will filter posts from the last week with 5 upvotes, extract key data, sort by upvotes, and it takes the top 10. And then from there, we send it over to our analyze posts with AI and enhance results. So we can see here we've got our Google model for the AI analysis. So if we double click in there, you can see we've got our Google AI Studio API account, and we're messaging a model, and we've chosen Gemini 2.5 Flash. Then we've got our message here, post to analyze, and we're just dragging in the JSON that we want to analyze. So if we go over to schema, we can see we've got our title, and we can just drag that in. So that's what we've done there. We've got title, content, upvotes, comments, URL, author, and date created. Then under our prompt here, you are an Obsidian expert analyzing Reddit posts. Identify unique posts that will make Obsidian better. Your task is to return single raw JSON array. Do not include multiple arrays. Do not include any explanation, preamble, markdown, or text outside the array. Each item must follow this format. Only include posts where productivity potential is medium or high. Uniqueness score is 6 or above. Then we're sending that over to a code node to pass AI analysis over to the AI enhanced generator. So let's have a look at this one. So run once for all input items, flatten all, and that's what that one looks like. And then we're sending that over to the AI enhancement generator. And we've just got our Google AI Studio account again, chosen our same model. This time we're saying generate 3 high impact, high value suggestions for how to improve the following Obsidian posts. Then we've got a JSON error here that we need to go fix up. So we'll come back and scroll down, and we just need to grab our productivity potential to fix that one up. And then we've got our prompt underneath. You are an Obsidian knowledge expert. Generate enhancement suggestions for the productivity tips that you've provided. Provide specific business enhancements that could 2 to 5x the value. Here's a list of types of enhancements that could work. Focus on time and energy savers, system generation, operational efficiency, personal knowledge management, experience improvements. Remember, we're making suggestions on how to improve the actual process, not create supplementary items. Output no more than 3 of the best enhancement ideas, and do not output any intros or outros. And then from there, we're merging those results with a merge node. So we can see here we're combining position by 2, and then we're splitting the results over a few posts for Discord, because Discord won't let us send all the information at once due to send limits. So that's why we've got a split code node here for Discord. Whereas for Obsidian, we can just send it straight down to Obsidian and prepare it for a markdown. So for the split code node, see here that I have this data, copied into Claude. And then I've said, can you create a code node to update Discord message processing for Obsidian data, process all the insights, leave a buffer for Discord, split it into chunks of 3, create message for each chunk, header for each message, add insights in this chunk, add part indicator, add key insights, collect all key insights, display top insights, add enhancements as final message, and then limit to 2 suggestions per item. And that goes over to my Discord node, which is sending a message using the Discord bot account to my Pause Obsidian server, to the channel called Obsidian Reddit Scraped. And I'm just taking the JSON message to send it across. And then the wait just goes and acts like a loop so that it just keeps sending until it's finished. As far as the local REST API to Obsidian goes, I'm preparing the markdown file. So I have this data, create a code node to process all the Reddit data into individual Obsidian notes, which is key, and then get all items inside first, create date for file name in this format, a helper function to get the week number, to get the quarter, to get date-based links, to create file names for each post, create the front matter or the YAML properties they would like, and you can customize this to your liking, build comprehensive markdown content, and then we've got a whole bunch of what I would call a template there of how it's going to look when it converts into a markdown file. So I could go change the headings here or the emojis or what data is being pulled in, or if I didn't like something, I could go back to the AI and make changes if I wanted to. And then finally, sending over to the Obsidian Vault. So targeting my reverse proxy, which connects to my Obsidian local REST API using the Bearer API token, and then it's sending raw text plain JSON content. So another thing you can do is you can have other models on standby, which I've got up the top here. So if you wanted to run it through OpenAI model, you could do so here. Or if you wanted to run a local large language model, then you can still use the OpenAI model like I've done here, but you could use a LM Studio model, which is what I'm using here. And I'm using the new OpenAI model, GPT-TAC OSS 20 billion parameter model, and then the same prompt as before. But this time I'm just using a local model. So if you didn't want to use Google Gemini, you wanted to use your own local model, then you can do so as well. Or if you wanted to use OpenAI or another API, then you could do so as well. Here we are inside of the Reddit Intelligence Vault. So we can see we've got our Start Here landing page. And to get started, we just need to click on N8N Automations. That takes us to our landing page, which gives us all the quick start instructions to get up and running. So if we expand the Spaces folder and the N8N Automations folder, we can see all the documentation is inside here. So we have our Obsidian Reddit AI analysis scrape documentation all contained within this folder, followed by our Obsidian Reddit scrape with advanced intelligence AI and all our setup guides inside there. Follow through with this N8N automations page, and this will give you the essential setup steps, the N8N setup, how to import workflows, how to configure your credentials, and how to set up each one of your nodes. So we can see here under N8N Workflow 1, I've got 11 how-to guides on how to set up this workflow. So we can see what the workflow looks like at the top. And then this one will guide you through how to set up the first Reddit node as well as the API credentials. So you just need to scroll down, follow through the guide, and then test the connection at the end. So I've done that for each node in the workflow, and that's all listed here on the left-hand side. Same goes for the second workflow. So same again, set up your Reddit in the first node here, and then it moves on to how to set up your filter automation post, which is this one here. And then you can just scroll down and see what that looks like. And if you want to adjust the code block as well, you can come in here and grab the code block and make changes to it if you wanted to. What you'll get with these workflows is a automation tool that scrapes the top 50 Obsidian MD posts You could customize this to another Reddit that you follow. You'll get AI analysis with Google Gemini, auto creates Obsidian notes, and post summaries to Discord. You'll get weekly workflows for deep AI analysis of top posts, enhancement suggestions, advanced formatting, and progress tracking insights. I've also included some sample data, and that lives down in the Vault folder here under N8N. So you can see here we've got our Reddit analysis workflow, and we can see the sample data down there. And if you wanted to customize this within the N8N workflow, you can do so. We've also got 6 posts here from the AI intelligence workflow, so you can see the sample data for that as well. If you have any suggestions on how to improve this vault, or you just need some help getting started, feel free to contact me on Ko-Fi or leave some comments down below. So there you have it, 2 powerful Reddit intelligence workflows that would normally take you 15 to 20 hours to create from scratch. If you want these exact workflows without the 20 hours of setup and debugging, I've packaged everything into the Obsidian Reddit Intelligence Vault, complete with how-to guides and step-by-step instructions. Check it out on my Ko-Fi, links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.